Wawan was wearing this shirt when he was shot.
Her son died in 1998 when these images were beamed around the world. Indonesians protesting against the authoritarian regime of President Suharto, an uprising that divided society.
On the one hand, I sympathized with my friends as protesters. On the other, my father was in the government.
The birth of Indonesian democracy was a violent one. How did Indonesians experience one of the greatest upheavals in their country's history? And why is it still a part of their lives 30 years on?
We must engage more with others, not close ourselves off. We live in a community after all.
3 life stories etched by fear, hope and courage.
Resist!
A metropolis awakes, and with it, more than 11 million residents. We're in Jakarta in 1998. The capital of Indonesia was the epicenter of the country's most serious social and political upheaval since independence. Today we're meeting Maria Katarina Sumarsih. Every morning she sets the table for her son Wawan, but he's been dead since 1998.
I believe people who die have just moved to another place. Someday Wawan will want to come home. And if he wants to eat, he can just lift the cover off the plate and eat right away.
Bernardinos Realino Norma Irmawan, or Wawan for short, was 20 years old and a student when he was shot, probably by an Indonesian soldier's bullet.
Wawan was wearing this shirt when he was shot. So this is the last shirt Wawan wore. There's a bullet hole on the left side of his chest, hitting his heart and lungs.
Wawan died in what's known as the Semanggi shootings, when police and the military launched a violent crackdown on demonstrators. 17 people were killed. Sumarsih has a copy of the investigating committee's report.
Soldiers entered Atmajaya University. People were injured. Wawan asked the soldiers, "Sir, there are students who have been injured. Can we help them or not?" The soldier replied, "Yes, please do." And as he was about to lift the victim, Wawan was shot.
To date, there's been no official apology. Wawan's mother is a human rights activist campaigning for a thorough investigation into the events of 1998. To this end, she founded Aksi Kamisan, or the Thursday Movement. We're going with her to a meeting. She wants to see those responsible brought to book, among them current President Prabowo Subianto. What exactly happened in 1998? Economic crisis and political repression sparked unrest. Students mobilized protests. Not just in Jakarta, but also in Medan, Surakarta and Yogyakarta. Their demands, human rights and democracy. The end of the Order Baru, the new order, the dictatorship of President Suharto. The University of Indonesia in Jakarta was one of the centers of political resistance at the time. Here we meet academic Vishnu Juwono. He knows this building well. When the demonstrations were going on, he was a student here and the son of a politician.
This is where my friends and I hung out. It was a dilemma for me. On the one hand, I sympathized with my friends as protesters. On the other, my father was in the government.
Vishnu's father, Juwono Sudarsono, was environment minister under Suharto. He was appointed to the cabinet after the start of the street protests.
My friends and I believed the best thing was for students in the government, especially the military, which was unpopular at that time, to sit down and have an honest, heart-to-heart conversation about the nation's future.
The military was seen as the pillar of the authoritarian Suharto regime, a symbol of oppression and violence. On the 12th of May 1998, the situation escalated. Armed forces opened fire on students at Trisakti University in Jakarta. The University Museum commemorates the 4 students killed that day. The tragedy forced Suharto's resignation on the 21st of May, the end of a 32-year rule. He was succeeded by B.J. Habibie, who ushered in the Reformasi era, introducing initial democratic reforms such as press freedom. But the population was still deeply skeptical and protests continued. To this day, that 1 year continues to define Vishnu's life. In his work, among other topics, he focuses on this period of upheaval.
Becoming a lecturer is a career path I had to take because I feel I can conduct research, publish, and express my opinions freely.
We're in Jebres, Surakarta. Serious human rights violations took place here. Back in 1998, the government and sections of the military directed public anger at minorities, scapegoating them for the country's economic collapse. We meet Wiranti Widyastuti and her father Sumartono Hadinoto, an ethnic Chinese family, the minority worst hit in this period of unrest. Wiranti was 11 years old when an angry mob stormed her house. Together with her father, she shows us how they escaped through a hole.
We passed through here.
It was really small.
It was broken in from outside. It's thick stone.
Oh, not from both sides.
No, no one broke it in from inside, only from the back.
We were pulled out by the residents. It was very difficult to get out. So the residents helped pull us out. The hole was small then. It's bigger now.
The most serious unrest took place in May 1998. Ethnic Chinese Indonesians were attacked, primarily in Jakarta, Medan, and Surakarta. They were seen as privileged and resented for it. Chinese shops were looted and set on fire. Women were raped. Wiranti and her family hid for almost 10 days.
I remember the situation being very difficult during that time. We didn't really have any options for food. I just realized how difficult it was to eat. And we were packed like sardines in the neighbor's living room. Basically, there was a mat spread out and we all slept together there.
After the riots, the family returned to their home, but life would never be the same again.
During the May riots, victims like us were treated like we weren't human, so we were completely worthless. I had to be treated by a psychiatrist. I had a slight problem with my nose, which turned out to be a psychological disorder. So I was treated for 1.5 years, taking a certain dose of sedatives, which was gradually reduced. With the help of meditation, I was able to recover.
Sumartono has been active within his community ever since. He supports an organization for people of Chinese heritage, which initially provided emergency aid to victims.
Whatever we could help with, we took care of it. Documents that were burned or lost due to looting. And secondly, because we had received donations, we provided financial assistance to cover expenses for the first 3 months.
There are no reliable figures on the number of victims. Some estimates put the death toll at 1,000. Many died in fires caused by looting. 85 sexual crimes, including mass rapes, have been documented. Many of these committed against ethnic Chinese women. To date, the government has not taken any steps towards official reconciliation. But Wiranti's parents encourage their children not to isolate themselves.
My parents taught me that we must integrate more into society. We must engage more with others, rather than closing ourselves off. We live in a community, so we're actually part of that.
Back in Jakarta, we accompany Sumarsih on her weekly Kamisan protest. She established the vigil outside the Merdeka Palace in January 2007. Participants wear black to symbolize mourning. Among their demands, an end to immunity. To date, there's been no legal investigation into the Semanggi or Trisakti tragedies. Sumarsih wants politicians to take responsibility, even those who are no longer in office, such as Prabowo's predecessor, ex-president Jokowi.
Jokowi protects violators, and Prabowo is a violator.
Current President Prabowo was a senior military figure until May 1998. A member of dictator Suharto's inner circle, his career is littered with human rights abuses. He, like many others, has not accepted any responsibility to this day. We're surprised to see many young people at the vigil, born long after 1998. Sumarsih says she'll stand alongside them as long as she's able to.
For me, these young people are the generation that will one day lead this nation and country. My hope is that these young people of the future will be capable of continuing, of carrying forward the plight of the students and the people in 1998, in fighting for reform and democracy.
Di dalam memperjuangkan reformasi dan demokrasi.